Well, folks, my next meeting with the judge, I'm kind of rehearsing it. I don't want to act like I'm looking forward to it because I'm not. They're only intimidating for the first few minutes. After that, everything else is gone and it doesn't matter. But yeah, next time he calls me up, when it's my turn, I'll be either in jail or I'll have been bonded out for traveling. But anyway, when he calls me up there, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to say, yeah, but you seem to have my name wrong. He's going to say, what? They know me there. The judges know me. And they say, you have my name wrong. And he's going to wonder why I'm telling him that. And I'm going to say, I'm in REM. Brian M. REM. And he's going to go, in REM. I'm going to say, yeah, it's an action there. Look it up in black slots. And he's going to kind of maybe catch him off guard. But I want to piss him off more than he pisses me off. I want to laugh at him inside and get the court chuckling at him too inside. Because I am not afraid to tell him you're clowning a gown, and you can check out what I do with them judges. I don't bow down to them. I kind of do a little bit. I don't overstep my bounds. I have got contempt a couple times, but it's coming down to the reality of what's going to be going on, I guess, is reality to everybody about to take a turn. It would if you'd all go in and plead not guilty, I guarantee you that. And the juries all find every case not guilty. We can start this whole fucking system right back over again. We can grind it to a halt just by doing that, showing our not citizen disobedience, but civilian dissidence, non-belligerent civilian dissidence. You don't want to be belligerent, because that puts you in a state of war, but you can be non-belligerent dissidents, and it don't put you in a state of war, but it shows dissidence to the system like it was set up. See, that's how the Founding Fathers used the court system to be able to show the disapproval of laws that they had passed that potentially trespassed on the rights of man, and that's why the judges informed the jurors in the past, prior to the 1870s, that they were to render their decision based on the moral character of the accused and the nature and circumstances of this allegation, and also the validity of the law as how the law is written. Is the law valid, or does it trespass on the rights of man? This is what the judges used to tell the jurors until the Fugitive Slave Act wasn't frickin' getting anybody. The slave owners returned their escaped slaves, see, and the slave owners were actually corporate America in the 1870s. So they petitioned together against the senators and told them they needed to be getting their slaves back. The war of northern aggression ain't what y'all think, man. It wasn't over slavery to begin with. You look into the reality of that. I'm not here to talk about that. But the South just wanted to secede from the federal corruption in the North, and the federal corruption in the North wasn't about to let the Southerners peacefully secede, because the Southerners were basically paying the way of the North and holding it together. But anyway, so these slaves weren't being returned, so the slave industrial owners went to the senators went to the judges, and after that they started to inform the juries rather than of their total instruction. Just they disregarded it all and started telling the jurors that they had to make their decisions based solely on the letter of the law as it is written. And the people were so stupid that they just fell right into the play, and now everyone, even to this day, it don't matter what law is passed against we the people, we unwittingly go into the courtroom with the power in our hands to repeal the unjust laws, yet we allow them to be imposed upon us. You see what I'm saying, folks? We have the power as the jury. We don't need the Supreme Court. I don't need no fucking idiot, triple-digit clown in a gown. Fucking Supreme Court justice telling me shit. Although don't get me wrong, there's quite a few of them in the past that had a real sense of what freedom and liberty really was and what justice really was, and they tried to explain to you people, and that's how I know what I know, is because I read Oliver Wendell Holmes and fucking these old J. Adams, and you guys got to read the history of what's really gone on in America and how we've evolved into the pathetic state we're at today, is because we don't use the courts that were set up for us. I try to, and it's all I can do is keep trying to get you people to understand. The government's out of control. There ain't no turning back the hands of time. You can't fix what's going on. You can only help to prevent it from escalating much further into the direction it's going and slow it down. And the fastest way to do that's fucking everybody pick a day a week to boycott fucking Walmart. I realize you guys all shop there. I don't. I boycott Walmart every day, but if everybody would boycott a day in the middle of the week, Tuesday or Wednesday on Walmart, kind of freak them out, man. Tear down them Georgia Guidestones. Get some action going on against this fucking elite class of fucking civilians who are trying to turn everybody into citizens. See, that's what the elite have maintained their civilian status quo, and they haven't turned themselves into citizens, because civilians are sovereigns. See, you're a king in your own right when you're a sovereign civilian, and that's what I keep telling people. There ain't no such thing as a sovereign citizen. A citizen is nothing more than a slave to a state. That's why y'all fucking go and ask the state for everything you want to do. It don't matter if it's sell lemonade on the street, if it's sell pussy on the corner. It don't matter if it's smoke a joint. It don't matter. You ask the government for everything. Even to go down and get milk. Yeah, you do. You fucking ask for a driver's license to drive your property that you bought, that you slaved over. You let them take your taxes and pay their thugs to extort your money and your fellow Americans' money. And we willfully allow it to happen by not showing any dissidence to the system. And the best possible way to show the dissidence, people, is to definitely plead not guilty to every fucking case, every ticket, whether you're walking your dog in the park. I mean, I don't suggest y'all go walk your dog in the park and not fucking take care of it. You know, you gotta have your dog on a leash and gotta pick up its dog shit and stuff, but still, quit bowing down to the realms of government. Use your balls and grow a set, or take them off your chin if that's where they're at. Jesus Christ, put them down where they belong and go into court. Yeah, go into court. When that judge asks you how you plead, tell him you don't plead. Animals plead. I ain't no animal. I'm a human being. It's going to piss him off. It really will. And then he's going to say he's going to enter a plea for you, and he's going to enter a plea of not guilty. And when he does that, say, whoa, hold on a minute there, Mr. Judge, sir. Aren't I entitled to an attorney? Interrupt him in the middle of him entering a plea for you. And then about your attorney, and he's going to tell you, oh, yeah, you are entitled to an attorney. And then you fucking pin him on and say, well, have I ever retained you for an attorney? And, of course, he's going to say no, because he can't. That's a fucking clash of interest or whatever the hell that's called. But then you tell him, well, thank you for your legal determination of my not guilty. Now, could you tell your goon squad to fucking open up these gates so I can get the hell out of here because you're wasting my time and I'm wasting your time? Christ's sakes, man, I'm not one of your fucking criminal fucking thug citizens. I'm a civilian. You guys are tired of fucking with me, man. You know, I'm gonna fucking go off on them a little bit without drawing too much attention to myself, but I'm gonna explain to the motherfucker that I know you're a clown in a gown, dude. You don't scare me. You got to be accountable, people. It all boils down to the accountability of oneself. Regardless of what anybody else does, you're accountable for your own self. You can't take accountability for anybody. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. What one person does is what the one person does. It's his will. He will do what he wants. And you cannot stop him if that's what he wants to do. That's the fact. So how can you take accountability for Joe Blow if he wants to go and beat the shit out of somebody? He's going to do it. You can't take account, oh, it was my fault. No, it wasn't. Did you go over there and beat the shit out of somebody? No, Joe Blow did. It's his fault. Pull your head out of your ass, people. Did you hurt somebody driving 5 over? No. But you went and paid the fucking courts $30 for doing it. Quit fucking submitting. Take that shit to court. No, sir, I ain't paying you. I don't want this judge. No, you want a jury trial. You want a jury trial. You start, people, taking all of our cases, our charges, is the state bringing us up as defendants on everything. You need to start taking it to jury trial. Because we are the jury, and we can repeal all these frickin' laws that are keeping people in prison. We can also start a movement to get the people who are in prison for victimless crimes out of prison for victimless crimes. That is the most inhumane, and yet this corporate government is continually locking people up for victimless crimes. They're doing what they can to break the family unity up here in Washington with that no contact order law. Tell me that ain't a crock of shit. You get a fucking spat with your old lady and they impose an automatic no contact order for a year. And then expect you to uphold their fucking orders. Well, you've been with your old lady for 15 years. You're going to go see your old lady, or vice versa. She'll be wanting to see you. In this state, this court will actually have their fucking policy enforcement officers pick you up and take you back to jail 2 or 3 times in a row. I've seen it, and it's eugenics. They're destroying the family unit. People, wake up! And I'm sure if they're doing it in your area, it's the same thing. Christ, we gotta get together. We gotta take this country back by standing up for yourself in the courts and using them the way that the founding fathers intended them to be used, to spare the human rights that governments will continually try to squander. The tool's there for you, people. I can't make you use it. Because all I can do is my part. I'm going to tell you straight up. I went to that last court, and I got 90 days and a $1,500 fine. But you know what? I got 10 extra days because I seen that I was fucking pushing my luck in court, and got a couple of contempt of courts right off the bat too that gave me the extra 10 days. But I know how to act in court, and I knew what I couldn't fucking. I was hungry. Court got me by surprise. I don't know. I'd never been to court before, but the next time they won't get me, because next time I went over the hearts of the jury by explaining to them the reality of all of the lies that are imposed upon their brains through the government, trying to control them into making them think that they have control over their own thoughts on how reality really is. Because reality is our own conception, and it's not what anybody else makes it for you. Your own reality is your own reality, and there ain't no one else that can change it but you. And the only way you can change it is by digging to the bottom of your reality and finding it. And then you know where reality is and where you are in reality, and then everything becomes real. But if you ain't doing anything wrong to anybody, why should you be punished for it? You shouldn't. And should quit fucking bowing down and fucking bidding the will of these fucking corporate governments in the court cases that are imprisoning victimless crime-accused defendants. Them are all made-up crimes, people. If there is no victim, there is no crime. Every time you put an American, a fellow human being, in jail for a victimless crime, you're as guilty of extortion of rights and liberties, and you ought to be fucking held accountable to treason too, because that's what our American Constitution and our... I'm not going to get into the Constitution, but it's a con. It was signed in witness thereof. Look at that one. I do believe in its principles and its face value, but it don't mean it's mine and I have to live by it. That just means that it's there and it's inherently available for me to live under, because I am per sure goddamn truthful. I am the posterity of that. Period. You know, but it was just signed in witness thereof. Look into that. So anyway, I'm just going to keep telling you people, it's in the court system is where we're going to make the change and make the difference. It's just like court. When you have an IRS court, fuck that, man. You want it done in front of a public jury of your peers. The IRS ain't got no power that nobody else has got. They make it peers. We don't need the establishment to impose its tyranny and corruption on us. As a human race, they've already disregarded the human race in all aspects. They lie to you and rule you by fear and by threat. And all you people have to do is wake up to the reality, dig deep into yourself and your subconscious and your conscience, and allow them to flow together and come to the reality of everyday existence and what is really mandatory, necessary for you to survive is basically the food and the water and a little shelter. But these government is getting real close to shutting down commerce, and I'm telling you, you need to be a little bit alert and aware about what's going on and be prepared. This shit here, the internet's probably going to be going down, people, and I'm just going to tell you, stay strong out there. It's going to be a different world here in the next little while, I do believe. But in the meantime, we ought to be fucking not conspiring, but uniting against the corporation and taking our power back from them. Get rid of the implied consent. Become accountable for our actions and our own will. You're not responsible for me, I'm not responsible for you. As long as you ain't doing anything that affects me, I don't give a fuck what you do. That's straight up the goddamn truth. You can believe whatever you want about the Bible, you can believe Jesus Christ or whatever, but when you read the old books and see where all that stuff comes into play, and then you apply your own... I'm not saying believe every book you read, but when you read it and you're talking about 4 or 5 renowned authors that are talking about it and explaining how the shit happened, chances are that it's pretty good possibility, since the books are written back in the day and they're written by the people that were living back in the day, that's what was happening back in the day, you know what I mean? And it ain't what you've been taught in school. You're indoctrinated in school to believe what they want you to believe, and there ain't no two ways about that. You're fucking their property, and they're indoctrinating you to act the way they want you to act. That's why you all go get driver's license. That's why you all ask the government for every fucking thing you want to do. You don't have to ask the government. The government's got no fucking business in anybody's life. The police are running rampant, doing what they want because they know the establishment will protect them. I don't know what to do, people, other than do a court resolution. It's crazy that our system of government has been eroded away, but do you think that this shit here would be acceptable even back in the 60s? What the government's doing? No, it wouldn't have been, and that's why they didn't do it back then. They did a long, progressive indoctrination, implementing your brain to be thinking what they want you to think, instead of using your imagination and exploring your universe and finding out for real what's really out there. Because when you find out what's really out there, it makes a lot of sense on everything that they'd be trying to hide from you. Because, like I said, it don't matter how far you dig. When you start digging, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. I love it. It all goes hand in hand with everyday existence in life. That would be the ultimate living experiences, to be able to, say, live in the woods and have your own little ammunition storage and be able to hunt and fish, gather your firewood and build your cabin on your own little spread, mind your own fucking business and don't let nobody else steal your shit. You know, there's enough land out there to fucking do this. Every person in the whole world, I read this somewhere, I can't remember, but they got the average mass of people width and deep, and they said that if every fucking person in the world, the 7 billion or whatever the world population is, they would all fit in Texas. It was all flat, and they had the area. I don't know if it's true. I never did the research that deep, but so there ain't really that many people in the entire world when you consider the enormity of the land. It's just that they got you all corned off and living where they want you to live, and they're going to further reduce through the Agenda 21 and the eugenics program on where you can live. They're going to go so far, people, as to decide what you can eat to help nourish your brain for the type of slavery that they're going to impose upon you. They're going to make you breed with this fucking doe over here because they want strong and she's strong and you're strong and you're dumb and she's got a little intelligence and we just want someone to be big and dumb and bid our will. And fucking, it's happening, folks. It's happening at an alarming rate. And that's why they need to shut down the internet, is because the people are becoming aware at an alarming rate. That you're either sleeple or you're alert. And they are becoming more alert every day by just listening to the reason and the common sense on all the propaganda bullshit that the mainstream media tries to impose, the fucking tyranny and oppression of government on the people, and make them believe that the people are subject to the government, when in reality it's the other way around. The government is subject to us. We instilled that government. God created man. Man created government. Government created corporation. Corporation created law. See, we're above that. We are endowed by the Creator, our rights, to do anything we want, as long as we don't impose no tyranny or no oppression on anybody else's liberties, freedoms, and rights. That's the Constitution y'all ought to be living by, and it don't matter what you do out there. If you ain't affecting my day, I don't give a fuck what you do. If you ain't affecting someone else's day, I don't care what you do. If you are, then you'll be dealt with accordingly. But we don't need the police. We don't need no legal... The system would work if it was used right, because then we'd take these people who are out of control into these court systems, and they would be the ones that would be actually being imprisoned and made due time for their crime. The actual criminals who have offended society members. And quit trying to call it a society as a whole, like a civil damage. It's fucking bullshit. Until you people wake up and start taking control of your own destiny and helping out in the movement to stop the corporate government takeover, nothing's going to change. It's only going to get worse. They're continually, every day that the government is allowed to maintain its authority in this society. We are all guilty of every crime that it commits. And that goes for all government. As long as we all allow government to exist in general, we are subjecting ourselves to the oppression and the tyranny. And not only that, we are empowering that tyranny and oppression. And if that don't just about make fucking sense to you, then nothing will. And you pay for your oppression through the policy enforcement officers imposing it. You know, I've been pulled over, and I'm sure there's many of you others who have been pulled over for certain walking or whatever. I got pulled over for pointing a flashlight at a cop. Yeah, pointing a fucking flashlight at a cop. And I got pulled over for it. So I was drinking beer at my balcony. Cop come over and fucking spotlighted me. I was drinking beer on my balcony. So what I did is I reached in my pocket. This is back in the day before you had the automatic locks and shit. But I had a flashlight on my keychain so I could see my doorknob. And I pointed back at this cop and I start fucking turning it on and pointing it at her. And she come marching up around on the balcony and running her lips. And I basically told her, you know, fuck you, lady, this is my house, and you came here and you spotlighted me, you trespassed on my fucking shit here. I wasn't even loud, I was just having a small barbecue on my balcony. You come and you spotlight me because you think I'm some kind of criminal, but no. She writes me up for doing a laser at her, pointing a laser at her, and this is back when lasers were first coming out of sights and shit, you know what I mean? And I pled not guilty, and they took my flashlight off my keychain. They wanted the rest of my keychain, and it had lasers on it. And I told the bitch, no, you're not taking, this is what I assaulted you with, and this is what you're taking to court. And I gave her that, and she took that to court, and that judge, I went in and I explained to him that I didn't point no flashlight at anybody. And I'd already paid fucking $5,000 to take care of that court deal, but anyway, they still found me guilty at the end trying to fight that thing and charged me another $500. And I'd already spent over $5,000 defending that one. That was kind of fucked up. But anyway, yeah, we got to take care of our own, and we are all our own. And without us, there's nobody. Nobody got your back without your buddy getting your buddy's back. Things are going to change when the power goes out. Don't be surprised when at any brief second it's just gone. That's why I got all my books, man. I love my books. I don't know if you can see, the wife turn the light off, but I've got my little library there. I got a book right here, The Fall and Decline of the Roman Empire. I can read it right now if I want to. And that's really interesting shit. Plato and Socrates and Livy and fucking Pliny and fucking Freemasons and encyclopedias and King George. I got the history, I got the books, people, and that's why I don't believe anything that I learned in school, because I took it upon myself to buy the information that was written in the time that the information was available and published in that time by the hands of the people that lived it, and that's where you get your real history. That's how you learn. That's how I learned. I went right to the base of where courts came from and shit, and they're all established through the king's courts and shit, and it's just a mode of revenge. It prevents revenge, and that's all courts are designed to do, and our founding fathers designed this one in a perfect way, that if we just apply it and use it as the tool that it is designed to be, it will end the tyranny and oppression that's been imposed upon us by the same type of government that the founding fathers warned us against, and that's that monetary fucking Federal Reserve that was imposed by Woodrow Wilson back in December 13, I believe it was, 23rd of 13 or 11, whenever he fucking enacted that Federal Reserve Act into law to fucking sell out of the country. And you just gotta look into everything that's going on in society today, and you'll know it's not good. Anyway, I'm babbling on again, and I'm just going to get off because you guys all got better things to do than listen to this old hippie. I'm sure, you've got chickens you got to take care of, water to store, feed to dry. Take care, people. Peace out. And Ram, Brian Meyer. Remember me, Judge. And Ram.